So, hey guys, happy Monday. I hope you guys are all doing well. And I'm starting out this vlog on my phone. Let's switch over to my main camera. And one, two, three. All right, good morning, friends. Ow. I just hit my funny bone. Okay, good morning, friends. Happy Monday. So, as I was saying, today is February 20th. I am getting ready to tackle a very challenging space. I should say a space that I've been dragging to tackle, and it gotten worse just because I just didn't want to deal with that space. And that is my pantry. So if you guys know, if you don't know, I organized my pantry when we first moved. I should be looking at right here, right? So I organized my pantry when we first moved, and it was looking nice. It was nicely organized, and then during the holiday season, as I was working long hours and pulling 18 hours a day, it just got crazy because the kids just put stuff wherever, and I just kept closing door to that space, saying I'll tackle it later, I'll tackle it later. Now later is a couple months now, and it's gotten really, really bad. So we'll insert a picture here, or maybe a video of how it used to look like. Now, I would love to tackle that space and do like a complete makeover because I feel like our pantry has so much potential. We have very, very high ceiling in this house, and down to the pantry, there's like wasted space at the very top because, you know, I don't know what the builder was thinking. But long term, I would love to just like open up the wall and maybe have a sliding door so we can like very utilize that upper space, because it's just that space that can be really, really utilized. Like, so I'm thinking for that area I can really put like pots and pans, like for my collection for Mackenzie child that I don't reach for every day. China, maybe holiday mugs or seasonal mugs, things like that. So I really think like the potential is there. It's just all about starting the project. So I don't want to start that when I have a zillion project in my hands already when it comes to this home. So one step at a time. So today I will put every single thing from that pantry. We're gonna put everything out and we're going to organize it. See what needs to be put in the right space. Obviously, there's a lot. And hopefully you guys get inspired to tackle a space that you've been closing the door to, because I know I had my under my sink that I tackled finally. Then I'm so happy I shared that over my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, the link will be down below. So this is like one of those closets that I've been closing the door to. But today we are going to tackle it, friends. We have to get it right because it just gives me more and more anxiety because it's getting worse and worse by the day. So let's get started. So here's the pantry at its current state, and it got so bad. Things out of place. I love to organize not only by size and also by category. The most unorganized spot was the breakfast spot where the kids reach for every single time. I had Nutella, cereal, things out of place, chocolate, milk, and also as us as adults, I think sometimes when you're dragging, organizing a space, you just put more stuff in and you just close the door. I promise you, we all have spaces like that. So one thing you want to do is pull every single thing out. It's a nice time as well to clean and organize and also purge, because you might have some very expire items within your pantry. I found stuff that was expired. My apologies, that was expired since 2019. So you definitely want to do this at least once a year, where you pull everything out of your pantry and really go through it. For us as African, so I feel like I have more season for my country because I am African. So when I'm making traditional meals, I make sure I have those seasoned ready, and also different things that I cannot find within the US. When I have family going back home, when Daniel visit back home, we do stock up on things. Last year he went back to my country and also his and brought back a bunch of stuff. So I really needed this organization. It's very time consuming for what I did, and you guys will see that later on. You can tackle this in one day, but because I chose to paint, yes, I chose to paint my pantry, it ended up taking 3 days. So don't let the fear of my timing scare you from organizing your own space. I said like the most hardest part of organizing any space is just starting. Once you start and you have everything out, trust and believe me, you have no other option but to finish it. And once you start, you realize how good it feels to just have everything out. You purge, you declutter, you clean. And places like our pantry is one of those spaces that can hold a lot of dirt, a lot of liquid spills. Like this right here, it was holding out syrup for pancake and all of that, and it was very sticky. So I'm happy I got that out. And once you're done cleaning, you guys, it's such a wonderful feeling. So I want you to remember that part, the ending result. That's what we look forward to. So I hope this inspire you. And yeah, let's get started. What you see me doing right now, I'm washing all the bins that held out syrup, those sticky items like baking goods, vanilla extra. There was some spills, so I'm like washing them and like giving them time to air dry as I'm working through other things around the pantry. So once I'm ready to put things back in place, there it's kind of dry, so it makes my life easy. It wasn't like a 1, 2, 3 step that I follow. I just empty my pantry. I, wash the containers. Then I will go through what's expired and what's still and get rid of that. So whatever works for you is great. Remember that all the containers that I got, because it's my second round with my pantry. I previously bought some containers from Amazon. I got some stuff from HomeGood to personalize my pantry. So when you are organizing your space, really study your pantry, see what's functional. Leave the lowest items for your children. If you have children within the age of my son, who is 10 years old, like syrup at the very lowest part of your pantry, so they're not reaching high up. So just making sure that things make sense for your family. So take whatever you can from this video and tweak it to your own home. Now, if you're someone like me, you want a pantry that's Pinterest inspired, but obviously real life is real life. So this is a very realistic pantry organization. Is what works for me. There's some bins that I feel like does not work, and also I like keeping some things in container because it makes sense for my children. But obviously, if you're an empty nester or if you don't have any kids, that you can make things as pretty as you like. So for an example, for my fridge, when I organized them and really made it like very aesthetically pleasing to the eye, it wasn't functional for my family because obviously they will not take that simple time to transfer milk into a pretty container after grocery shopping, or if it's empty. When I talk about my family, I'm talking about my children. They just don't care until they get older, right? So to save myself the time and the headache of just trying to opening my fridge and feeling discouraged because I organize but it doesn't stay organized, I just let things be in my fridge. So certain things I transfer them into containers or organization bins, like egg I have left over and I have a new grocery coming in, so I'll transfer to a smaller container depending on what's left over. But I just want to say, like, everybody organization is different and everybody's house need is different. So don't let these videos that have everything picture perfect just make you feel like you're not organized enough. So as I was saying, it's a good time to see what you have, throw in what's still, throw in what's expired. And so far I'm happy I started, but I know like it's going to be a little tedious, it's gonna be time consuming. But once it's done, I will be happy that I actually did it. So it's all about just starting the project. No one, I would love on my day off to just relax and chill and, Netflix chill all day, that kind of situation. But doing this is going to make me feel so good. I won't have any more nightmares about it, and then it'll be done. And I don't probably have to revisit this for another 6 months or a year. So in this square basket, I keep unopened items. So anything that I have an overflow of. If you shop at Sam's Club or Costco, you buy things in bulk. So this is where I keep like unopened items. So I just wanted to pull everything out as well to make sure there's nothing expire or anything that I need to put in my bins. So like pasta, I do keep them in airtight jars. So things like that. So that's what I'm going through, making sure everything is good, not expire, and we make sure we tackle everything. So that's what I'm doing. And I love these baskets. They're very affordable from IKEA. I love IKEA so much for things like that. So if you want to get your house organized, I say definitely shop at IKEA, Home Good, TJ Maxx. They have the most affordable bin, and also Amazon. At this point, the pantry is empty. Like I said, is that standard builder grade paint, and there was a lot of scratch mark on the wall, if that's the right term, you guys. But I felt that was the right time to just tackle what needed to be tackled. I would have loved to just remove the wire shelf. I'm so jealous if you live in Texas and you have the wood shelf, but we got the wire shelf in North Carolina for some reason. But I want to take everything off, all the wire shelf, wipe them down, and just paint it, just to give myself a peace of mind, paint it. So that's what I was debating at this point of the recording. And I was like, you know what, let's do it. Let's just go full force on this pantry right now, because these stains are driving me nuts, okay? Nuts. My OCD is kicking in. So after I removed the wire shelf, I did wipe the wall, remove any spider web, all of that. I also pressure washed kind of the wire shelving that was inside the pantry. It was drying outside. But as the wire shelving was drying outside, I did prep my wall that I didn't share on the camera. So I dusted, and I also wiped it with a towel that was a little damp, and I kind of like try to remove any dirt. If you're painting, I say make sure your walls are clean, you don't have any spider web, all of that. Take care of that before you start painting. This is how the pantry looked after I painted. I used agreeable gray. Like I said, it was an impromptu decision last minute to paint, so I had agreeable gray, and I love that finish for the pantry. I had pure white, but I didn't want to use that because there was a matte finish, and that would defeat the whole purpose of painting because it will get scratch mark all over again. As the paint was drying, I decided to restock some of my canisters, and I got these canisters from Amazon. Everything that you see in this video is not, I didn't purchase anything new for this pantry. I only had them from last year. The pre-made label came from Amazon as well. They did pretty well even after I washed them. And stuff that I couldn't have a pre-made labels, or stuff from like my native country. So like stuff like gari, you can't find a pre-made label for them, although I could use my Cricut. I just wanted everything to be uniform. So what I did, I used a washable marker and I wrote on the canister so my kids know to look for it. And also I use some of these stickers that I only had, and I use it at the very bottom. So right there, I put it at the at the bottom of the canisters for expiration date. So that's very important. But typically my girls who sometimes cook will look for the description on the actual canister that says what it is. So stuff like gari, grits, things that I couldn't find a pre-made label for, I just did that. So we all in the same page. So although like I would love everything to be uniform as far as like how the pre-made label were, I didn't want to have like two different type of label makers. So like I said, I could have done a new label with my Cricut, but I wanted everything to be aesthetically pleasing. It's written in the back, so if my girls are cooking, they'll only know what to look for. And as long as whatever you do makes sense to your family and you all know what it is, that's what matters. So right here, this is like dried fish from back home. So I just transfer into the container because my husband bought that from, Togo last year. So it came in these plastic containers. So I just transfer them and then label them. There's no expiration for that one. I'm sorry. If you know it, you know it, okay? If you know it, you know it. So that's what I did as the pantry was drying. So now it's time to organize. Tip I have for you guys, if you don't want to buy pretty containers to transfer all your spices, if you have a preferred seasoning brand and you buy the same brand all the time, you have a very aesthetically pleasing pantry to look at or a seasoning rack to look at because it's all the same brand. So it makes a statement without even you trying to have that Pinterest ready. Pantry, does that make sense? So for an example, I like shopping at Sam's for my season that I use constantly, like parsley, you name it. Like I like buying them in bulk. So because I constantly purchase them from Sam's, it looks so good all lined up. And I also buy things in bulk at Sam's. So things that I use like tomato paste, tomato sauce, I line them up together and it looks so good organized without me doing too much. So I feel like once it's all organized by the same brand, it makes a statement and it looks pretty good in my opinion. Let me know what you think, you guys. So I definitely understand that transferring seasoning every single time is probably not ideal and probably not like budget friendly, but if you buy the same brand constantly, you'll have an organized space an aesthetically pleasing looking space without you trying to. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let me know what you think down below. So before I used to keep all the canister at the same shelf. I wanted everything to look the same, everything to be in the same place, but I quickly realized what drove me nuts the first time around is the fact that I had sugar, loose tea, powdered milk, things that my kids reach for, and they will literally stock things that makes no sense together. Let's say they'll take a smaller canister and stock a big canister on top of it, and that is like a calling for a disaster and an accident to happen. So what I decided to do is bring those canisters low at the level where they normally go for. So at because I have a breakfast section, so I decided to keep everything breakfast related on that same shelf where I keep like syrup, where I keep condensed milk, where I keep even baked goods. So it's all there, is not stuck on top of each other, so they can just put it back in. So I have my peace of mind. Although it's not as pretty as having all the canister at the same eye level, I just decided to go for my peace of mind. I'm all about peace and my mental health this year. And we have children, and sometimes your spouse don't put things back in place. So I'm trying to put everything back in place, but at the same time, I don't want to repeat what didn't work the previous time around. So I love these containers from Amazon. Love them. They're airtight. I didn't fill I didn't feel the need to fill out everything to the very top for the sake of the video. I'll wait till the container is completely out and then we can put the brand new stuff in. So what I do for my stuff that is not open, I use these wire basket from IKEA and I keep them in place. So the only thing I'm trying to do differently right now is the fact that I had sugar and some of my loose tea up here, but when the kids are trying to get stuff, they kind of put stuff everywhere because it was kind of crimp. As you guys saw, it was kind of crimp. So what I did is I moved the stuff that's like breakfast right here, although it might not look as pretty as how it was all up here, but I want to do what makes sense, what's reachable for them. I mean, when I said them, I'm talking about Eli mainly. And then also so they can know like this is like breakfast item. So I'm trying to do that. I'm still working on it. As you can tell, I totally forgot that I had the other containers there. So I'm fighting now with space because I'm like, oh, I kind of figured it out, but at the same time, I did something different. So I'll play with things once I have it all figuring it out. I'll let you guys know, but I'm trying to keep things that the kids reach out for breakfast. So this is pretty much gonna be like a breakfast section. So like syrup for pancake, waffles, Nutella, honey, and also little toppings for their waffles, or if they want to use that for hot chocolate, like cinnamon sugar, whatever. And then right here it's gonna be like I pretty much have some of the same thing here, like the honey, but right here I'm trying to make like the adult stuff. So I might move some of the honey here. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, but I'm trying to make sense in my head, and I'm trying to make sense on how my family will use it. The way I'm displaying it, I want it to make sense too on how my family will use it. So I'll let you guys know. So we at the end of it all, you guys. So this is how everything turned out. I love it. I even have like extra bins that I didn't use. The one that you see stuck up on the very corner, and also these wicked wire basket holds like unopened items. I love the fact that I kept all usable items for my children at the same eye level. The white bin in the center of the sugars and stuff has like toppings for, you know, breakfast that I might need. And also these gray bins hold like sardine and tuna, and also extra African spice that I put in small jars. So it's all functional, it's all nice. We have a designated snack pantry and drink pantry for the kids for school and things like that. So this is just nothing but dry goods. I'm so thankful for this pantry, you guys, because my previous house, the pantry was very small. So I love that everything is labeled and everything is functional. Is my family knows where everything is. The thing is just trying to keep it tidy. The very last bottom bin, I keep like, you know, extra rice that we may have. And also this is how the door turned out. I love it. This is like weeks after I was done organizing the pantry. So the week I'm actually recording, doing this voice over. So this is how everything looks, and I love it. So hopefully this inspire you. Hopefully this gets you off your comfort zone by tackling your pantry, and also give you that extra push. It doesn't have to be Pinterest perfect, as long as it makes sense to your home and your family, all that matters. So until next time, my kings and queens, I love you all, and I see you guys in a brand new video very, very soon. Mwah. Bye.